Welcome to LittleBigPlanet Karting, and this is lesson 2 in TheAdipose's complete guide to tracks and minigames on this awesome game. Now today I'm going to be showing you how to create a track in the sky, how to do some jumps, how to edit your fences, how to edit the width and angle of the track, and loads more as well. So let's get racing and creating. Okay, so this is lesson 2 of TheAdipose's complete guide to LittleBigPlanet. Please make sure you have viewed lesson 1 because there are quite a few ideas that I am not going to be covering again here in detail. Now the first thing I'm going to do today is pull out some terrain. Now I'm going to pull this one out as high as I possibly can so I can see the height of the level, and then I'm going to pull out one that's about half that size, and I'm going to put my race grid, my create racer grid on top of that, and then just like we did in tutorial 1, I'm going to draw out my track using up and down with the right stick to change the elevation and the height, and the left stick to change my corners. Now remember, like I said in the previous tutorial, don't just make a track up on the spot. When I'm making this track, I've got my design open in Paint, and I know where I'm going, and I know kind of my ideas for the track, and I strongly recommend you do the same. But you'll notice as I am drawing out this track, the landscape is changing beneath it as well. So you can see the hills are coming up to meet my track. So it is not a sky track yet, but once we complete the track, it's quite simple to actually change it into a sky track, because what we need to do is change the road surface. But when you go into road surfaces, if you go a bit further down, you'll see there is a section for bridges as well. Now what we're going to do is we're going to turn the whole track into a bridge, and what this will mean is, as we paint our way around, is that it will break the connection between the track and the ground below it. And once we've done that, we can then simply remove the ground below, and we will have an entirely floating track. Now this of course gives a huge amount of creative possibilities in terms of having sections of a track which are on the ground, sections which are in the sky, entire tracks in the sky, etc, etc, etc. So you'll need to paint your way around, turning the whole thing into a bridge if you are looking to go skyward with your track. Now once you've done that, there's a nice little option in the global settings which is reset, and there's 4 different types of reset: reset all, reset track, etc, etc. But one of them is just clear terrain, and what that's going to do is completely remove all of the mountains in one little click. Now to go with my beautiful pink little track, I'm going to add some water at the bottom. I'm going to go into the lighting section, and if you go down to the bottom of lighting, there is fog, and I'm going to make it a lot more foggy. I'm going to make it a bit pinker, and I'm going to adjust the distance by which the fog becomes most thick, to give this level a bit of visual style, which isn't just the default empty level. And remember, of course, at any point you can press the down button to preview your level. Now if you go into your toolkit, you will find the jump pads. There are 2 types, a white one and a pink one. The white one, whatever angle you hit the jump pad at, that's the angle you will fly off at. The pink one will always land your Sackboy in the same spot, as long as the Sackboy hasn't pulled himself left or right. So I'm going to put my jump on the track here, and I'm going to set it to land further up the track. And you might kind of think, well, why on earth would I want it to just land further up the track? Well, I'll show you, because what we're going to do is we're going to put the jump in place, working out where we're going to start it and where we're going to land it, and then we're using the track edit tool again. We're going to use this option here called no respawn to what appears to delete the track but in between the jump and the landing point. Now in reality, the computer still knows that the track is there, and this is what stops the player from going out of bounds when they're doing the ground. But as far as the player is concerned, we're now jumping over absolutely nothing, and we've got quite a spectacular mid-sky jump. Now, once we've done that, I'm going to put a second jump in over this side. This one's not going to be over nothing, but instead it's going to be jumping over another section of track. And when you go into the jump pads settings, you can change the height at which you jump and the distance at which you jump as well. And I'm going to be tweaking this one so that it will clear the track above and also land me at a suitable distance. Now remember, of course, with the right stick you can always zoom in and out from the view, so you can see both the launch point and the landing point as well. With all of these tools, don't overkill. Try not to make a course which is just jump, because actually once you hit this pink pad, the user input is minimal. There is a nice option in the pink pad as well, which decides whether the player can still pull left and still pull right, or whether they have to land exactly where you want them. Now, in the same way that I painted the road, I can also paint the fence, and there's an option in Paint the Fence, although I sound a bit like the Karate Kid movie, and there is an option to paint the fence with nothing. Now you can only do one side at a time, and I'm going to completely remove the fence from this section of my course, both from the jump and from the road section, to make this a far trickier part of my course. And then I'm going to get rid of this plain brown fence by replacing it with something a little bit more gold and spectacular. So I'm going to grab that, and I'm going to paint around the entire course, both the left and right side, to give it a nice shine. Now, when you look at this particular bit of road here, it's a nice corner, but it doesn't bank. Now, what you need to do is go into the option called Vertical Shift, which is again in the Track Edit tools. And by holding down X, I can select an entire corner. And by pressing left and right on the D-pad, I can select different, either the whole track or just different parts of the track. And what I'm going to do here is raise the edges of the track the edges of the track on one side and lower the edges of the track on the other, to give me an extremely banked corner, almost like a kind of motorbike style wall of death. So when the player drives into this corner, they will be kind of driving at a full angle, which will help to keep the player on and also just increase the visual interest of that particular part of the level. Now, as well as a vertical shift up and down, there is also a horizontal shift left and right, and you can use this particular tool to shift whole corners in and out, or by selecting individual parts you can use it to widen and narrow the track. And in my little hard section of the track where I've got no wall, I'm going to make it even extra harder by narrowing the track as well. Now, in future tutorials, I'm going to be showing you how to use that particular tool to really widen the track and make huge areas. So, just testing my area here, and remember, you don't actually just have to use a horizontal or a vertical tool on a track. You can use both. So this track here, I've made it thinner, and I can also give it a vertical bank as well to make it easier for the player to stay on it. So we're going to place a few gadgets to complete our race course here today. Of course, we need the boosters, and we're going to need some weapon power-ups as well. Like I said in lesson 1, don't just place these randomly around the course. Think carefully about how they will affect the player's progress around your course. Where will be fun, where will be tricky, where will cause problems in terms of players going flying off the course and things like that. Where will there be kind of too many weapons? Where will it just turn into a kind of a big mess? So think carefully about where you put these before you actually put them down. Remember, of course, the track that I'm making today is going to be available on my Moon. So when you go into LittleBigPlanet, go into the community section, text search, and search for @TheAdipose. The @ symbol that you'd use in an email address, TheAdipose, and you'll get a list of all my levels published so far. And you can play this level, and you can copy it to your Moon if you would like to kind of examine it in your Create editor as well. Now, what comes next is the important play-testing stage. You need to play a couple of rounds of your course, and you need to note down anything and everything you don't like, be it a little kink in the road, be it a weapon in the wrong place. And I did that, and I found quite a little list of things that I wanted to fix. I had to tweak one of my jumps because it wasn't quite in the right place. I had to adjust a few of my banks because they weren't quite flat and they were bouncing me in weird places, and they just looked plain odd. I had to move a booster because it wasn't actually possible to get it where it was. You know, little things like this, but that is a really important part of the process of editing and retweaking, because without doing that, you are basically going to be uploading a flawed track. And once you've kind of made your little edits, play again, and then make more edits, and then play again, etc, etc. Thank you so much for watching today. Please give the video a like if you have enjoyed it and found it useful. Do subscribe if you want to make sure you see lessons 3 and above, and I will see you in future tutorials. Don't forget to check out the levels on LittleBigPlanet itself, and of course the rest of the tutorials on the channel. Take care, see you soon, bye bye.